1883, Broken Hill story begins with a sheep farmer finding minerals for the first time here. He found them literally in what was a broken hill, hence the name of the town. But in the many, many years since and billions of dollars that have been found here, the main story is, of course, BHP. Now, that was 6 blokes who got together and they took over the mining world. But it wasn't always that easy to mine in this part of Australia. In the 1880s, 3 blokes set out from South Australia. They walked, just themselves and a wheelbarrow, for 500 kilometres looking for work. They set out with basic tools and they eventually ended up at the Daydream Mine. All hand labour, and it was the start of a mine that ran until the 1980s. When times were booming, about 500 people lived here. And this is where they lived. Literally, you just got local rocks and stacked them on top of each other. Eventually, we're able to build some sort of a frame using whatever timber was around, including just cut down trees. And then hessian bags put over the top. Limestone meant that the rain would fall off. This is 5-star towards the end of the 19th century. It's an easy thing to say that the mining life is hard, but in this mine, it was 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, and 1 bath if you're lucky.
They mine the ground out first, and to support the ground you need something to hold it up. So you put your mulga in first as a props around the area, and then you start putting the dry rock in, what you see here. They're packing from ground level to roof height, and that will stabilise the ground, stops it collapsing in. That's cool. And that was done by 10-year-old boys.
Wow. Now, I'm not really claustrophobic, but this shaft is so narrow that Mark tells us the only way people were able to get down there and to do their work by hand was on hands and feet. No standing. That was as tight as it got down here. And that, remember, is 12 hours a day. When you think of this part of Australia, you don't automatically think of camels, but you should. They were here in the very earliest days of people starting to turn dirt into towns. In fact, one of the oldest mosques in the country is right here, and you can still experience what it's like to go on the back of a camel thanks to our mates at the Silverton Outback Camels. Peter and our team give you the opportunity to feel what it was like to get from A to B, camel style.
So you just jump on, Paul, and hold on. Hang on and lean back. Hold on. You ready?
Okay.
Don't scream.
Whoa. That's fantastic. That's so cool. You deserve a carrot, don't you? This is awesome. And when you spent the day underneath the ground looking at mines or high on a camel's back, it's time to look to the stars for some Outback Astronomy. As the sun disappears on another wonderful day in Broken Hill, this is the reason why we had to come here. For years, a great friend of mine and television and radio royalty, Clive Robertson, has told me that Broken Hill is the place to see the stars. Well, there is a very special experience, not just looking up, but learning about what is happening above us, and it is Outback Astronomy. It gets cold when the sun goes down, but it's a very comfortable way of learning what's beyond. One of the reasons Broken Hill is perfect for stargazing is because there is such little light pollution. Now, the city's only about 10 minutes back that way, but because there is virtually nothing this way, imagine the biggest cinema screen you have ever seen, made by something far bigger than us. And what about this for some accommodations? If you're lucky enough to get here, and please, this is on the bucket list, you've got to come here. Firstly, of course, your lovely way of sitting down. They provide you with a bubbly if you like, otherwise, cheese and bickies. So what can we see in the sky tonight?
The Southern Cross is directly almost overhead.
Oh,
this
wow.
is the very famous cross the little star now, which has an Aboriginal name called Ginnan.
Oh, wow.
And you've got your Alpha star, your Beta star, your Gamma star, your Delta star, and Ginnan.
Thank you, Lily. Awesome.